I hope you can join us in March 2024 on the vibrant Gold Coast of Australia for a remarkable not-for-profit event dedicated to blockchain enthusiasts with a special focus on the dynamic XRP ledger ecosystem. Over 2 captivating days of events, I'm thrilled to announce my role as the moderator for the Builders Series panel. This session promises to be an enlightening exploration of 10 diverse builders where we'll delve into their unique business models along a distinguished panel of industry professionals. In today's video, we shine a spotlight on a truly exceptional individual, a young entrepreneur and heptathlon athlete that embodies the spirit of the ultimate track and field event. Her achievements are many. They include the Australian Javelin Champion, the 5th in the World University Championships, and the record holder for the highest Australian heptathlon score in 13 years, are nothing short of awe-inspiring. In the next 10 minutes, you'll gain insights into her visionary approach and unwavering passion that sets her apart from the crowd. Discover how she tackles a real-world problem using the XRP ledger, and be prepared to be inspired. And the best part, you'll have a chance to meet this remarkable individual at the Wave of Innovation event in Australia. Don't miss this opportunity to connect with a true trailblazer and witness the convergence of athleticism and blockchain brilliance. Join us on this thrilling journey at the forefront of innovation.
My name is Tori and I'm the founder of EcoLabs. And outside of developing apps and projects with EcoLabs, I'm actually a track and field athlete, first and foremost. It's usually how I introduce myself. I'm currently training for the 2024 Olympics, actually for the heptathlon, which is track and field. I do 7 track and field events over 2 days. I've competed internationally. I've represented Australia multiple times. And I love my sport. And I also love development and coding and blockchain and all that sort of stuff. So, I found a really cool pathway in my life where I can sort of blend my passion for sport, my passion for creating things in one place. And I think the most important thing you got to do whenever you're developing something, an app, or trying to bring something to the market is you got to solve like real problems, right? You can have these great ideas, but unless you're actually solving something that makes a person's life better, then it's really like pointless. And so in my experience as an athlete, like I've experienced a lot of disappointment, with performances, but not just with performance at sport. It's more like the pathway to, reaching the big goals you have. I think, a lot of young athletes, a lot of young people are like, yeah, I want to go to the Olympics one day. I want to do all these things. But, there's actually a huge problem. Most athletes who are on our Olympic pathway actually don't have ways to earn. You have to sort of rely on sponsorship, and people think, oh, the government's giving money. We've got the Australian Institute of Sport. We've got all these things. But generally, I think the audience who watch this, people understand the problems of centralization. We have a problem of centralization in sports as well. Olympic sports, a lot of the funding goes to centralized governing bodies, and then they have their own systems of distributing resources to help athletes get to a certain level, and they dictate what you need to do. You sign off all your data. You are beholden to their review panels, which aren't always objective. It can be subjective in nature. So, the problem is like if you have a dream and you have a goal, it's very hard to get there, funding wise, resource wise, unless you got like wealthy parents or you happen to have a job that can complement your lifestyle. It's close to impossible. And, athletes can leverage marketing, they can, build a profile online and, get popular and share content on TikTok and Instagram and then get people to sponsor them. Yes, that is a viable route. However, not everyone can sort of do that. Like you've got to be smart with editing. You've got to understand, what's popular online and trending. So that was a position I found myself in. Like I really wanted to do sport. I really wanted to go all the way, but I just couldn't do it. Like I started a uni degree and I had to drop out. I was doing computer science. I couldn't afford it. Like I was training for a heptathlon. I had to work a job and study. I was just breaking down. I was like, I can't do this. So I just got straight into, working and building portfolio. I started out as a graphic designer. I started building websites for, actually the first major website I built was for my sports doctor. So I had an injury. I was a young, enthusiastic athlete. I was like, yeah, I'll do anything, to earn a bit of money. He's like, well, can you do this? I said, yeah, yeah. So I sort of built my portfolio and my skill set from actually the network that I had of like physios and sports doctors and health practitioners. These are people that could help me on my journey. And I realized if I could give something in exchange, then I could exchange a website for free medical services, which means, hey, I don't have to pay for this anymore. There's a cost gone. So I learned that exchange of value from a young age as an athlete, where like I don't necessarily have to pay money, but if I can exchange value and we can agree on that value through consensus, which is what blockchain is all about, then I've hit something. So I had that experience. And then 2017, 2018 was when I was first exposed to blockchain. And I bought my first Ethereum then, which was like, I think it might have been $370, so I got in early and I experienced what that initial run was. And I was like, oh, like this world is crazy. So obviously I got in because of the bull run, but then I dove deeper into, I guess, what blockchain is and what it actually means and how it can actually change the world. I was like, wow, like this brings back the whole ideas of like exchanging value, which is something I'd already experienced as an athlete. Like I can't earn money doing this, but hey, I can exchange value and do things. So when I thought about it in sport, it didn't actually become very apparent to me how I could bring it into sport until 2020. Obviously, lockdowns happened. That year, 2020, I had a breakthrough performance in track and field. I got the best performance by an Australian in like 14 years. I got invited to go to Europe to compete, and then COVID happened, and then obviously I couldn't compete. So in that time, I had about 2 years off competing because of COVID. I was like, well, I'm going to get straight into work and I'm going to dive deep into development. And I sort of started having these ideas about like athletes produce a lot of data, a lot of valuable data. We not only produce the scores or the performances we do, we produce health data. We produce insights that can go into like, case studies that they do for PhDs, that can be applied to physios and health practitioners. In the Queensland government, they'll collect, for high performance sport, they'll collect your testing data and try to improve their own high performance services. So we're already producing so much data, and that data is actually being used for financial benefit somewhere else, but we don't know that and we don't understand that. So I thought, okay, there's something there in that, where we always say this idea of like health is wealth, but how do we actually tangibly make that something where that wealth is something I can use to exchange? So then I thought, okay, well then I think the solution is tokenizing sports and health data, like for athletes. Like what if I as an athlete have a digital wallet and all the data I produce is kept in that digital wallet, and that becomes the digital version of me, where I can consent to having that data given out somewhere else. I can consent to even getting money from that data, or, I can exchange that data. And so that whole idea of tokenized data for athletes is where, the idea came for my main platform I'm developing at the moment called EcoLabs. And I applied for an XRPL grant back in December 2022 or November, and I was successful. And that's where the deep development in the product really got a huge legway. I guess when you get a grant, you're like, great, I got funding, I got resources, let's go for this. So the best part of this year, I've been building out the platform. We finished out beta testing, so that was really cool learnings to get. So with this platform, it's built for athletes. It's not really built for crypto natives. You don't necessarily have to understand XRP, Ripple, the XRP ledger, or blockchain to use it. The way it's been built has been for like, it looks and feels like a social media, so you put out your posts, which are your performances and the data you want to link to that. And that post is an NFT on the XRP ledger. And that post becomes tradable. So you can like, I have this moment. So it falls into the digital collectible realm. The other thing we're working to build in as well is bringing in the wearable data. So, people like I wear an Aura ring. It collects my sleep data and my health data. With the API, we can bring in that data to your digital wallet. And so you can actually extract that data and you can do what you want. You can tokenize it for a post or something like that, or you can just have it in one spot. So EcoLabs is, the vision is coming towards it being sort of like a LinkedIn for athletes, where you have everything to do with your athlete credentials, all your performance stats, all your posts, all your memorable moments in one place. Because that's another problem we have at the moment is as an athlete, if I was to say, I'm going to verify how good I am. Just go check out my Instagram. You'll see I can run this fast and that. So people, athletes already do that. So EcoLabs is becoming like this social, I guess, central point for athletes to experience ownership, but in a way they already understand, which is why it looks and feels like a social media platform. So yeah, it's been a huge experience, like learning experience this whole year, you know, because I've come in it developing it from like, you know, understanding blockchain, but it's been a huge thing to try and build something that, you know, you don't have to, like, you know, a lot of Web3 developers, it's always like have the wallet, you know, on the ETH and all this. And it's like, no, I want to build something where you abstract away a lot of the blockchain stuff and people can use it and interact with it, but they don't necessarily know that it's blockchain. And I think that's the ultimate goal that we want with, you know, real world adoption globally. It is a big challenge. You know, you have to unlearn things, and you have to also too, like initially when I built it, we wanted to make it very decentralized. You know, we were calling it a decentralized social media, and we realized we can't actually do that because we still have to have control mechanisms about what's allowed on there. And you know, there are elements where a truly decentralized world is not completely possible, but we can use elements of it. And so yeah, so that's what we've been working on this year. And early next year, we should have a public version ready for athletes to jump on board. And it's pretty exciting too, because not only, you know, am I training for the Olympics, but I'm also trying to build this product, which I think can actually help a lot of athletes and create new earning, you know, opportunities, but also just bring education about data ownership through experience. I think it's really important that athletes and anyone who's producing that sort of data, health data, know how valuable that is and how your data, without you knowing, is being leveraged for other things. Might not be bad things, but you're missing out on your piece of the pie, you know, while you're doing all the work to produce it. So it's been a really cool project, and it's exciting because it gives me something. Like a lot of athletes just think about sport, but for me, I feel like I've got something that I can keep my, you know, heart and soul into and mind into well beyond my years of being an athlete. So it's been very rewarding. So if you want to find out more about myself, you can follow me on Twitter. So it's Tori West __. I also have the same handle for Instagram and TikTok, and that's where I mostly post my sports content if you want to follow me as an athlete. And then if you want to find more about EcoLabs, our website is equal.io, and equal is short for equilibrium. So EQUIL.io. And we have a lot of information there and links and whatnot. As for testing and whatnot, and like if you want to jump on board when we go public well, I guess it's like beta public in January, the link to sign up will be on the equal.io website.